Hey guys, it's ExandShadow. Now we all have pretty good memories of playing games as kids, or when we were younger anyway. I know that I have plenty of great memories playing games as kids. So, while it's not usually like me to rank my own personal memories, I felt that it would be a good idea to just give you guys some insight into how I think about games, what games I like, stuff like that, by just telling you about some of my fondest memories of playing games as a kid. So now I'm going to do my top 5 nostalgic memories of video games. Now, while I'm technically doing it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it's sort of hard for me to rank my memories, so this is more of a general list than anything else. And this is going to be mostly a ramble. I'm not going to do any fancy editing, no music, no actual script. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, these are my top 5 nostalgic memories of video games. I hope you guys enjoy. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this show. So anyway, since now we're going to start with my arbitrary number 5. As you guys know, I love the Ace Attorney series. And while the games only came out just a few years ago, I'm going into college very soon, so everything before this, high school, middle school, that all seems like a different part of life for me now. And while it's not too far away ago in years, it's far enough away from me in just sort of scale that it feels nostalgic to me. But anyway, I picked up the Ace Attorney series, and while I was originally skeptical at first, because, playing a game as a lawyer doesn't seem like the best game concept out there, I was drawn in really quickly, and I loved the games. I have spent hours playing the Ace Attorney games. The 8 hours it takes to push through the game normally, and then I've played through the installments again, and again, and again. I've had to play through had to play through every installment in the original trilogy like 5 to 7 times at least. I've played through Ace Attorney Investigations 3 or 4 times by now, and I've played through Apollo Justice at least twice, which is actually quite impressive considering that I don't really like that game. But what's interesting and what makes this a particularly nostalgic, great memory for me is that I would play these games for a really long time. This is the only game series where I would find myself playing through the middle of the night till 3:30 a.m. playing these games. And now, while that doesn't seem like the best idea, I generally would do this on school nights when I have stuff to do the next day. But thankfully, I always got my homework done before I would start these. But it was just there's something about it. Me sitting in my bed at the middle of the night, my lights are off, the glow of the screens on my face. I'm trying to whisper objection into the microphone, loud enough so that the game will be able to hear it, but not loud enough to wake anybody up. Reading the text, laughing in a sleep deprived manner. I don't know. It's just one of those fond memories that I have, and it's one of the only things that I really. It's just a great memory for me. Ace Attorney for me will always be best at 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't. I. It's just one of those things. But yeah, this is sort of an odd one, but number 5 on my list was playing Ace Attorney at 3 a.m. and I love it. But anyway, on to number 4. When I was a kid, I saw a commercial for a really great game. It was called Banjo-Tooie. It involved Banjo jumping out of a helicopter, trying to use Kazooie as a parachute, and then falling flat on his face because Kazooie's at a poolside sipping on like some sort of drink with a umbrella sipping out of it. It's a funny commercial, and I recommend looking up for me. But I saw this commercial. I'm like, that game looks cool. So I said, hey, I want that game. And for my birthday, when I was either 7 or 8, I don't remember, my aunt gave me that game for my birthday, and I played it non-stop. My birthday's in April. I beat the game in June, July-ish, and I'm pretty sure I played that game every day until then. Banjo-Tooie for me has so many great memories. I remember traveling the Isle of Hags trying to figure out what to do. I remember the mini games of Witchy World, the temples of Mayhem Temple, the awesome music of Glitter Gulch Mine, the beautiful flutes of the Jinjo Village. Just every time I go and play Banjo-Tooie again, all of those memories just rush back into me. Later I would play the first game, which is still good, though I still hold that the sequel is infinitely better. And, you know, it's just one of those games, it's probably the only game actually, where I feel like the world is open for me to explore. Banjo-Tooie is a world. All of the levels interconnect. Everything just feels fluid. Everything just feels right. The only problem I have with the game is its slowdown, and that's fixed in the Xbox version. But it's just having that world to explore in, to scavenger hunt in, find stuff, interact with those characters, listen to the awesome music, look at the great N64 graphics. It's just wow. Just the scale of that game and the world that I had to explore made for one of the most satisfying experiences I ever had in my life. And I love Banjo-Tooie for that. I still go back and replay it all the time. It's just such a great game, and I have such great memories of it. When I beat the game for the first time, I woke up early that day. It was the beginning of summer vacation. I had just gotten to the end of the game, so I woke up at 5 for no reason. I just did. And so I turned the game on, and I played. And I played for about an hour straight, beat the final boss, which was pretty hard, actually. And I got really excited. I was jumping up and down. I woke up my parents and said, "Mom, Dad, I beat Banjo-Tooie." And then I went and I called my aunt who gave me the game and told her about how great it was that I beat Banjo-Tooie. And she told me how happy she was. It's just memories like that. You can't ever replicate them. And yeah, so Banjo-Tooie. Pretty fucking awesome. So now, a list of ExandShadow's nostalgic memories wouldn't be complete without Pokemon, now would it? I love Pokemon. You guys know that. You've looked at my avatar, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, but out of all of the games in the series, the one that I have the most nostalgic fondness for is Gold version. Yeah, I played the original when it came out. I had a lot of fun with it, but Gold version is the game that I've sunk more hours into than any other. And it's also the only game in the series that I bothered to get a level 100. You guys probably know that Typhlosion's my favorite Pokemon by now. I leveled that thing up to level 100, and it was awesome. I could clear through the entire Elite Four and Red without taking 1 point of damage with that Typhlosion. It was unstoppable. It was a beast. I owned everyone with that thing. I named the Typhlosion Ted, after myself, because I'm an egotistical bastard, and even up until for years, I would just randomly turn the game on, plow through the Elite Four, go through Mount Silver, find Red again, beat him. And it was just... it never got old to me. I had so much money on that file and I didn't even need it. I didn't need to buy Hyper Potions or Revives or any of that. I didn't even bother looking for all of the rare Pokemon. I'm pretty sure I didn't even find the 3 legendary beasts. I'm pretty sure that I accidentally killed Ho-Ho, and I didn't care. It was a pretty bad file when you think about it, but it was just so... I had so much time sunk into that. The joke that I would be playing the game, and my mom would say, "Ted, come to dinner. Ted, turn that game off. Ted, do your homework. Ted, stop reading." And then I would say, "Mom, I can't save the game right now. I'm in the middle of a battle." That would become a running joke in my family. You know, whenever we're in a car and my mom said, "Turn the game off, you're going to get car sick." "I'm in a battle, I can't turn it off," would be the default answer of my dad before I even said anything. And you know what? Most of the time he was probably right. So yeah, I love Pokemon Gold. I still do. And one of the saddest moments of recent history was when I said, "You know what? I'm going to go through and plow through the Elite Four and Red again." Then I turned it on and my gold save battery died. Can't play it anymore. That level 100 Typhlosion's lost forever. And it's sad, but life moves on. So yeah, Pokemon Gold has a ton of memories for me. But that summer, the summer, I'm pretty sure, of 2001 was a great summer for me. I'm pretty sure I was either in 4th or 5th grade. I think I was going into 5th grade. Pretty sure. And because that year for that Christmas I got Gold version, which I was still playing constantly. I already told you that I got Banjo-Tooie. But another game I got for my birthday that year was Paper Mario. Now, I knew who Mario was. Everyone knows who Mario was. But the only game that I've actually played as him was Smash Brothers. So, my parents got me Paper Mario for my birthday. And, it was fun. I played through the prologue, had my fun with it. And then I got to the point where you're supposed to go to Chapter 1. And you can't because the Cooper brothers, disguised as toads, are blocking the way. And I didn't know how to get past them. I didn't know that you had to walk around Merlin's crystal ball and talk to him directly. So I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? So, instead of actually proceeding with the game, I level grinded. I thought that you had to beat the master for some reason. I don't know why. I was a stupid kid. But yeah, so I level grinded on Goomba Road, killing Goombas in a slow process in order until I was strong enough to beat the master. And I did beat the master, but only his first form. When he went all Super Saiyan on his second form, I was like, okay, this can't be right. So, eventually, I was visiting my cousin, and then we went to a playground. We were playing. There was some other kid there, so I got to talking and was like, hey, I have this great game called Paper Mario, and I love it, but I'm stuck at this point, and he told me how to get past it, and I'm like, really? That's what you have to do? And I do it, and then I get past that point, and then the rest of the game is laid out to me. And then I've got this great game to expand upon and play. Paper Mario was the first game I ever played where I maxed out the in-game clock. It was 99 hours and 59 minutes by the time I beat the game. I got that game in April, and I didn't beat it until almost Christmas. I actually got stuck near the end, and I ordered the strategy guide with a renewal of my subscription to Nintendo Power. And the strategy guide came the day after I beat the game. It's hilarious, actually, when I think about it. I still have that strategy guide, and I flip through it from time to time. But just that memory makes me laugh, because I went downstairs and I yelled to my mom and dad with the Christmas tree sitting there, and I was like, Mom, Dad, I beat Paper Mario. And then they said, and then I remember my mom and dad looking at me like, great, so that strategy guide's going to be completely useless then, isn't it? But yeah, Paper Mario was one of the first games that I beat without any sort of help. Like, again, I didn't get the strategy guide until after I beat the game, so this was something I beat all on my own. For, Gold version, I had a strategy guide for that. Banjo-Tooie, I had a strategy guide. Paper Mario, I didn't have any help whatsoever, except for that one piece of advice towards the beginning. And it was one of the most satisfying experiences I ever had. And, I love that game to death now. I'm pretty sure technically Thousand Year Door is better, and I love that game too, but for some reason the original Paper Mario, I can go back and play that again and again, and I love it. But anyway, yeah, so I know I'm sort of rambling right now, but I do have a memory of playing games that I do hold over pretty much all others. And it's sort of an interesting one, actually. Now, many of you probably have the same experience that I do, where you're pretty much the only one in the family or in your group of friends that really enjoys games. Now, I like games a lot. I have two younger brothers. They like games a lot too, but they're like 7 and 9 years younger than me. So when I was little, they were too young to really appreciate it. If you're 3 years old, you really can't play many games. I had an older sister who would play Mario Kart and Mario Party or Smash Brothers with me. And that was fun, but it wasn't really her thing, and I can understand that. And my parents couldn't care less. Mom, you want to play Mario Kart with me? No, she'd rather watch General Hospital or One Life to Live. But, however, my dad wouldn't generally play video games with me. But if there was one game he would play with me, well, actually, not really play with me. There was one game he would play on the PC. He would play Age of Empires. Now, Age of Empires is a pretty fun real-time strategy game. But my dad would play Age of Empires and pretty much nothing else. So my dad would be playing Age of Empires, and I would just sit there and watch him. I'd watch him. I'd ask him, what are you trying to do? Are you going to win by building a wonder? Or are you going to knock out all of their town centers? Where are you going next? Are you trying to use catapults or cavalry? What are you doing? And he would talk to me back. We would strategize. He would watch me play, talk with me about that. I would watch him play, talk to me about that. And this was sort of a very great memory for me, because it's one of the best bonding moments with my family that I ever had with games. Me and my dad, our interests sort of split at a lot of points. He's big into soccer. I really couldn't care less. I like video games. He generally doesn't care. He likes to fish. I find it boring. I like cartoons. He doesn't see the appeal. But Age of Empires was one of the things where he and I really bonded. And, that's one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite memories, not just of video games, but just of my childhood. It was one thing that him and I could get together on all the time. And yeah, I still go back and play Age of Empires now and again, and having that memory of me and my dad playing a game together, that's just one of the things I treasure and I think about all the time. But yeah, I know this is sort of just me rambling about how my childhood was like, but I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of look into my psyche. And if you guys have any memories of playing games, I welcome it. Talk about it in the comments or in a video response. I want to hear what your guys' experiences were. For the older people, you guys probably have similar experiences for me, but you could replace the word Paper Mario with Final Fantasy II, or you could replace Banjo-Tooie with some Super Nintendo game. I was born in sort of an awkward transition period where I was an N64 kid, and if you're considered an old school gamer, you started with the SNES or back, and if you're a new school gamer, you started with the GameCube and forward, and I'm sort of in that awkward in between point. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. It really wasn't anything special, but I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. I'm ExandShadow's, and I'll see you guys later.